Adam Smith quotes and sayings. No society can surely be flourishing and happy, of which the far greater part of the members are poor and miserable. It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from their regard to their own interest. In regards to the price of commodities, the rise of wages operates as simple interest does, the rise of profit operates like compound interest. Our merchants and masters complain much of the bad effects of high wages in raising the price and lessening the sale of goods. They say nothing concerning the bad effects of high profits. They are silent with regard to the pernicious effects of their own gains. They complain only of those of other people. I have never known much good done by those who affected to trade for the public good. The real and effectual discipline which is exercised over a workman is that of his customers. It is the fear of losing their employment which restrains his frauds and corrects his negligence. People of the same trade seldom meet together, even for merriment and diversion, but the conversation ends in a conspiracy against the public, or in some contrivance to raise prices. Science is the great antidote to the poison of enthusiasm and superstition. Man is an animal that makes bargains, no other animal does this, no dog exchanges bones with another. Happiness never lays its finger on its pulse. Civil government, so far as it is instituted for the security of property, is in reality instituted for the defense of the rich against the poor, or of those who have some property against those who have none at all. What is prudence in the conduct of every private family can scarce be folly in that of a great kingdom. The first thing you have to know is yourself. A man who knows himself can step outside himself and watch his own reactions like an observer. How selfish soever man may be supposed, there are evidently some principles in his nature, which interest him in the fortune of others, and render their happiness necessary to him, though he derives nothing from it, except the pleasure of seeing it. Every man lives by exchanging. The learned ignore the evidence of their senses to preserve the coherence of the ideas of their imagination. What can be added to the happiness of a man who is in health, out of debt, and has a clear conscience? Virtue is more to be feared than vice, because its excesses are not subject to the regulation of conscience. Little else is requisite to carry a state to the highest degree of opulence from the lowest barbarism but peace, easy taxes, and a tolerable administration of justice, all the rest being brought about by the natural course of things. Consumption is the sole end and purpose of all production, and the interest of the producer ought to be attended to, only so far as it may be necessary for promoting that of the consumer. On the road from the city of skepticism, I had to pass through the valley of ambiguity. All money is a matter of belief. As soon as the land of any country has all become private property, the landlords, like all other men, love to reap where they never sowed, and demand a rent even for its natural produce. Labor was the first price, the original purchase, money that was paid for all things. It was not by gold or by silver, but by labor, that all wealth of the world was originally purchased. Resentment seems to have been given us by nature for a defense, and for a defense only. It is the safeguard of justice and the security of innocence. It is not very unreasonable that the rich should contribute to the public expense, not only in proportion to their revenue, but something more than in that proportion. Poor David Hume is dying fast, but with more real cheerfulness and good humor and with more real resignation to the necessary course of things, than any whining Christian ever died with pretended resignation to the will of God. The theory that can absorb the greatest number of facts, and persist in doing so, generation after generation, through all changes of opinion and detail, is the one that must rule all observation. No complaint is more common than that of a scarcity of money. Adventure upon all the tickets in the lottery, and you lose for certain, and the greater the number of your tickets the nearer your approach to this certainty. Labor was the first price, the original purchase, money that was paid for all things. It is not by augmenting the capital of the country, but by rendering a greater part of that capital active and productive than would otherwise be so, that the most judicious operations of banking can increase the industry of the country. This is one of those cases in which the imagination is baffled by the facts. With the greater part of rich people, the chief enjoyment of riches consists in the parade of riches. Adam Smith's great ambition, the desire of real superiority, of leading and directing, seems to be altogether peculiar to man, and speech is the great instrument of ambition. Wherever there is great property, there is great inequality. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.